boom. Netflix's head honcho just ripped up Meghan Markle's multi-million-dollar contract, leaving the self-styled Duchess in full mascara streak meltdown after audiences slapped her lifestyle glow-up with an 11% death rating. Behind the scenes, insiders say Greg Peters' icy cancellation email detonated Meghan's celebrity rebrand faster than you can whisper Montecito Martha. Now, frantic texts, shredded budgets, and whispers of a Hollywood blacklist swirl as she scrambles to salvage her image. Stick around, because we're diving into the flopped show, failed brand, and full-blown fallout that might finally cost her those royal titles. Netflix poured a jaw-dropping $18 million into With Love Meghan, banking on Meghan Markle's global fame and a polished, Pinterest-worthy vision of domestic life. What they got instead was a critical train wreck, with the series limping in at a humiliating 11% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics ripped it apart as toe-curlingly unlovable and soulless, dubbing it a Duchess of Flops. The series plummeted from Netflix's top 10 in just 6 days. Variety branded it a Montecito ego trip, and Twitter lit up with memes mocking its painfully try-hard vibe. What was hyped as Meghan's Martha Stewart moment collapsed under the weight of overproduction, poor pacing, and an audience that simply didn't care. Insiders say Meghan micromanaged every inch of production, from selecting fonts to rearranging salad ingredients on set. Nothing was too small for her stamp of approval. One crew member joked she spent more time adjusting place settings than connecting with the audience, while others blamed her obsessive tinkering for the show's many delays. Even the show's release date was reportedly pushed due to her constant changes, with Netflix quietly re-editing scenes after early viewers mocked its fakeness. Meghan even added a voiceover clarifying the house on screen wasn't hers. Each new revision drove up the already bloated budget, turning what should have been a simple, charming series into an exhausting, over-engineered mess. Before the series aired, test audiences were already wincing. Words like phony, forced, and emotionally flat dominated early feedback. Viewers felt the show tried so hard to be warm and inspirational that it ended up feeling sterile and over-curated. One insider said it had all the warmth of an infomercial. When it finally dropped, critics piled on. The Guardian called it vibrating with vacuous joylessness, while others mocked its painfully polished scenes, especially the segment on making ice cubes. It was supposed to be Meghan's reintroduction to the world. Instead, it confirmed many viewers' worst suspicions about how calculated her public image really is. The internet quickly noticed that Meghan's real life wasn't so real after all. The rustic farmhouse, rented, the beehives, maintained by pros, even the jars of jam she gifted to celebrity friends were likely outsourced. The entire production had the vibe of a luxury catalog shoot, not a behind-the-scenes glimpse at real domestic life. Audiences felt duped, and they weren't quiet about it. Not her house, not her bees, not her lettuce. What is hers? Became a running joke online. The illusion shattered when it was revealed that even the vegetable garden was staged. In a show sold as authentic and heartfelt, everything from the scenery to the storyline was filtered through a thick layer of Hollywood gloss. Netflix is famously discreet when a show bombs, but not this time. Rumors say co-CEO Greg Peters stepped in personally to kill With Love Meghan, reportedly mortified that Netflix had dropped millions on what turned out to be a glittery PR nightmare. Meghan had hinted that a second season was already filmed. Insiders say, don't count on it ever airing. Official statements stayed vague, but internal chatter was loud. Netflix quietly distanced itself from the project, and talk of shelving future collaborations gained traction fast. Meghan's once promising media partnership now appears to be circling the drain, with whispers of a quiet non-renewal and top-level regret for ever greenlighting the series in the first place. Meghan hoped to pair her Netflix show with a luxury lifestyle brand launch, originally called American Riviera Orchard, but that name was denied a trademark for being too generic, forcing a last-minute rebrand to As Ever. It was supposed to be her goop moment, jams, honey, florals, and all, but instead felt like a panicked pivot slapped together under legal pressure. Even the logo drew fire for allegedly copying the coat of arms of a town in Spain. The timing was meant to create synergy between her show and her brand, but both flopped simultaneously. What should have been a soft launch empire turned into a double failure, with critics calling the brand confused, unoriginal, and desperate. In short, no jam, no buzz, no buy-in. For a couple who claimed they wanted privacy, Harry and Meghan have made a full-time job of overexposure. Between Netflix shows, Spotify deals, memoirs, and endless media interviews, their brand of "leave us alone" has started to feel more like "pay attention to us, now." Critics weren't shy about pointing out the contradiction. When, with Love, Meghan invited cameras into a stylized version of her daily life. The backlash wasn't just online. Polls show Meghan now ranks among the most unpopular public figures in the US, with Harry trailing behind. Their audience is suffering fatigue, and former fans are turning into skeptics. Even a segment where Meghan shares a private text from Beyoncé was seen as overreaching, fueling the narrative that her version of vulnerability is really just curated PR. Just as Meghan was pushing the narrative of a humble working-class childhood, her half-brother Thomas Markle Jr. swooped in to call it all malarkey. He publicly claimed their family wasn't poor and accused Meghan of inventing sob stories for sympathy points. His Fox News interview quickly went viral, reigniting old questions about the gap between Meghan's story and her relative's version of events. It didn't help that Meghan's half-sister Samantha has been saying similar things for years. Now, Thomas Jr. is reportedly working on a tell-all of his own. For a show already being criticized as fake, the timing of these family digs was devastating. It gave Meghan's critics fresh ammo and painted With Love Meghan as less a documentary and more a scripted character study. With Love, Meghan has become the cautionary tale every Hollywood exec is whispering about over cocktails. Once considered a golden get for Netflix, the show is now a punchline, proof that celebrity alone doesn't equal compelling content. Montecito ego trip is how Variety put it, and the phrase stuck like jam on a silk blouse. Insiders now point to Meghan's flop when warning against handing massive budgets to unproven talent with unchecked creative control. What was supposed to launch a lifestyle empire ended up being used as a case study in what not to do. The Duchess's star power couldn't save the series, and instead, her tightly controlled image may have permanently damaged her Hollywood credibility. The fallout has reached Meghan's social circle too. She and Harry are reportedly no longer welcome at some of Hollywood's biggest events, and even their old allies are going silent. One insider claimed Anna Wintour scrapped a planned Vogue feature after Meghan's team made Beyoncé-level demands. That same source added, "She's not Beyoncé, she hasn't earned it." While there's no official blacklist, Meghan's name has become synonymous with risk. Former supporters are distancing themselves, collaborations are stalling, and even Netflix has backed away quietly. In an industry that feeds on fresh faces and clean narratives, Meghan Markle, once the breakout star of the royal exit, is now seen as an overexposed cautionary tale clinging to a crumbling brand. So there you have it. What started as Meghan Markle's glossy Hollywood comeback has unraveled into one of the most talked about flops in streaming history. From an $18 million Netflix disaster and a staged reality show to brand blunders, family feuds, and whispers of an unofficial blacklist, it's clear the shine has worn off the Montecito fairy tale. With critics dragging every frame, fans turning away, and even industry insiders backing off, the question now is whether Meghan can claw her way back, or if the crownless queen has finally run out of second chances. What do you think? Is this just a rough patch in her rebrand? Or is Meghan's media empire collapsing for good? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear it all. And if you love celebrity chaos, royal scandals, and the stories no one else dares to dish out, make sure to hit that subscribe button, tap the thumbs up, and ring the bell so you don't miss a single scoop. This is Sienna's Scoop, where the drama's royal and the tea is always hot.